Okay, so welcome everybody. I'm so glad to see so many people. Nikki, I'm so glad to see so many people could make it on the Thursday instead of the Wednesday. I'm really excited. Today's practice is actually based off of this book, Yoga for Grief Relief. It's by Antonio Sausys. I took a workshop with him once, and it was like it was like transformative. And we're just going to go through a little mindfulness-based practice, a little snippet, and you can bring to it whatever you need. There is, I believe, a sort of collective grieving process happening, whether or not we feel it in our bodies or not. There's just a lot of loss happening around us. But that said, we don't need to treat this yoga as a grief process if we don't want to. It's simply ways of reconnecting with our body, and especially when things are stressing around us and within us, we tend to lose that contact with our bodies and what the senses are telling us and things. And so this is just a practice in reconnecting with that. I highly recommend this book if anyone's interested, Yoga for Grief Relief. But it's like more of a philosophy, and it's quite nice. So I'm going to play some music on my end, and we're actually going to get started in a slightly different way than we usually do. So we're actually going to start laying down, where we usually start a little more active. All right, excellent. And if you're new here, this practice usually takes about a half an hour. All right, so we're going to start on our backs, and we're going to go through a breathing technique. This is just called complete breath, complete breathing. Last week we did deep belly breathing, and this one's a little bit differently. So you're going to lie down in a position that's comfortable. You can have a pillow under your knees for low back support. Hands are just open at your sides, palms are facing up. And I'm just adjusting the volume on my phone so it doesn't trip the audio. So just get settled here. Everything is relaxed and open. Palms are in a receiving, open posture. You're just breathing normally. Begin to either lower your gaze or close your eyes. And I want you to kind of look internally now. Place one hand over your heart and one hand over your belly, and just notice the ways your hands move as you breathe. You're not trying to change it, just notice it. Maybe you notice your chest is rising higher than your belly, or vice versa. Now we're going to take a little bit more control in our breath. We're going to inhale into our belly. Let that belly button area rise, and then the lower ribs, and then the chest rise on your inhale. And on the exhale, same thing. Belly drops, low ribs drop, and chest drops. So when you're ready, you're going to inhale into your belly. Let that rise. Let your low ribs rise, let your chest rise, and when you're ready to exhale, lower belly, then ribs, then chest. So you're creating this wave with your breath. Take a couple of cycles practicing. Doesn't matter if you breathe through your nose or your mouth. Continue to breathe in this way, keeping your belly full, even as your chest is filling. Try to let it become continuous. There is no start or stopping point. It's just this cycle of breath. If you'd like to bring your hands back to the sides and just feel it in your torso, you may do that. Continuing to feel through this breath. It's said that this breath represents a sense of control in our lives. It's also said to represent the process of grief and the way it ebbs and flows, it fills and then empties. Amy Weintraub once said, the way you breathe is a metaphor for how you're living your life. If you're taking, are you taking small little bits of air as if you don't deserve to take up space on this planet? You all deserve to take up space, so increase those breaths, increase the depth that you can take them, and release them in the same regular way. Take a few moments on your own to reconnect with this breath. Belly, low ribs, chest. Belly, low ribs, and chest. Take 2 more breaths on your own in this fashion, and then let your breathing return to normal. So bring a little movement to your fingers and your toes. You can blink your eyes open if you want to peek at me to see what's next, or you can just listen to my voice. You're gonna very slowly come on up to a seated position with our legs out in front of us. So I'm gonna face you. You can stay exactly as you were. And just let the blood kind of return back to its center. Another thing about that breathing, and the sort of yogis like it because it goes past the chakras, the main chakras of the body. And so it's in that way connecting with the life force, all of these good metaphors, or spiritual beliefs, depending on how much you study and believe in them. So you're gonna extend our legs out in a comfortable, they can just be pretty wide open. Your fingers are gonna face away from your toes. So not this way, but turn them out and just rest peacefully. We're gonna do a little mindfulness warm up. So if you'd like to lower your gaze or close your eyes, that can facilitate the turning inward process. Otherwise, you can keep your eyes open until you feel comfortable. We're gonna bring awareness just to our toes. We're gonna inhale and curl our toes, just the toes. And exhale, just release the toes. 2 more times. Awareness in the toes. Inhale, curl them down. Exhale, release them. Inhale, curl the toes. Exhale, release. Continuing that flow of breath, bring your attention to your ankles. You're gonna inhale, bring your toes towards each other, and exhale, swing them down and away from each other. Inhale, your toes come up to the sky as you make little circles, and exhale, your toes push away and down. Inhale, they come up. And exhale, push them down and away. When you're ready, begin to reverse those circles, keeping your breath regular with your movement. Excellent. When you find your feet back up to the top, you're just going to slowly recline back to the floor. Now we're going to bring our awareness to our knees. So on an inhale, bend that right knee, keeping your left leg extended. Inhale, knee comes up. Exhale, release that foot from the ground and bring your foot up to the ceiling. Knee can be bent, it can be straight. Inhale, knee comes down. Exhale, extend it back out towards the left. Inhale, left knee bends. Exhale, release that foot up to the ceiling like you're walking on the sky. Inhale, knee can bend. And exhale, extend. One more time each leg. Inhale, bend your knee. Exhale, your leg can be bent. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, extend. And final, inhale, left side. Reach that foot up on an exhale. Inhale, come back down. And exhale, release it. Excellent. And just so you know, of course, I'm not there with you. You're the only ones in your own body. So if at any point you have, different pains in different joints or parts of your body, it's really important in this practice to send your imagination to it. So send your mind's eye. If you're like, I can't lift my leg right now or my rotator cuff hurts, imagine the position as best you can. And that brings a healing awareness to the spots, and it also brings kind of a fluidity of practice, even if you're not using it physically. So now we're going to bring our attention into our hips. I'm going to face you again for this one. You're going to inhale, lift your right foot off the ground. Exhale, drape it over to the left side. Arms can be there for support. Inhale, bend that knee, bring it back through center. Exhale, bring it out to the right side. And we're going to make little circles. So inhale, bringing your foot down and around. And exhale, bending it and extending it out to the right. Continue to make a few circles in this way, matching your breath, and then the movement follows. Remember, the breath breathes you. You're not doing anything to force the breath. It's telling your body what to do. Next time your leg is extended out towards your left, just gently lower it. Bring your awareness to your left side. Lift your foot up a few inches from the floor. Inhale, bring it over to that right side. Exhale, bend that knee, bring it past center, extend it out to the left. And inhale, bring the foot back towards the middle, over to the right side like you are half of a clock. Bending it past center. Trying to keep both shoulder blades making contact with the floor. And as best you can, both hips. That will be impossible completely, but you want that energy of both hips drawing towards the earth. And then let your leg meet your other and just lower it to the ground. Excellent. Take a moment to recalibrate here. And when you're ready on an exhale, using your hands to support you, come on back to a sitting position, legs out, just comfortably. You can keep your knees bent for this whole exercise. You're going to inhale, tall spine, and then exhale, fold forward. Take a breath here. On your next exhale, you're just going to move your torso to the right side, placing both palms on the floor and bending your elbows forehead to the ground. Inhale, come on up. Exhale to the middle. Inhale, come on up. Twist at your belly button to the left, both palms down, and you kind of make a little X on the ground. Come on up. And follow your breath. With every inhale or exhale, you're moving, you're flowing into a different position. And slow and regulated is good and calming. And it also helps us stretch. Take one more on each side. No rush. My voice is only a guide to the pace that you breathe. This is like a little bit different to our normal laying down twist. It's a little more active. So when you come up, reach towards your toes one more time. And roll up. Very lovely. And bring your legs into a comfortable seat. If you want to sit on a pillow or a block, go for it. Just take a moment for everybody to get there. Your eyes can come to close if they like. We're going to next bring our awareness to our fingers. So you're going to inhale. Bring your hands up, palms facing the ground, fingers extended. Exhale, make a fist. Feel that energy from your fingers. Inhale, extend, energize out. And exhale, relax those palms down to your legs. One more time. Inhale, arms lift, fingers extended. Exhale, make a fist. Feel the energy from your fingers as the point of origin. Exhale, release your fingers, energize out. And release, relax on your next exhale. So now we're going to bring attention to our wrists. So similar, extend those hands, make a fist, and then we're just going to rotate our wrists in little circles, both turning in, up, and out, and down, in, up, out, and down. Do 3 or 4. Being mindful of your breath, feeling it in the wrists, feeling what you feel, being mindful of any adjustments that you should make for your body, and begin to reverse it. Really moving through the range. The wrists have an incredible range. So if you're just kind of doing the same thing, see if you can explore the range a little bit. Excellent. And then relax the fingers, lowering your palms down to your legs. Bring your sense of awareness, your mind's eye to your right elbow. You're going to extend your right arm. Your left hand is going to just gently facilitate by holding right under that tricep area. You're going to very slowly, almost like you're scooping your hand over your shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, scoop, push it away over your shoulder. Exhale, in the course of your breath, release. One more time. Inhale, bring that, whatever's in your hand, press it behind, and release it in front. Relax both hands down. Get ready for the other side. So you're gonna lift your left hand, your right hand is underneath that, kind of the muscly part of your arm. Inhale, pulling that arm, that palm towards your shoulder. Exhale, bringing it back down. 2 more in your own breath. Excellent. When you are ready, just lower your hands. We'll just take a moment for everybody to get here. Excellent. Now moving up the body as we have been, we're going to bring our awareness to our shoulders and that rotator cuff area, all of those, that ball and socket joint that so often gets injured and but does so much for us. We're going to place our hands. I'm going to actually turn around. We're going to place your hands behind your back. Just relax. And we're going to make little like chicken wing circles. And as your elbows come up, your hands meet in the middle. And as they separate, your hands come apart as well. So palms meet at the top, and then they come down. Face you again. So inhale, everything comes up and meets. Exhale, come down. Do 3 or 4 in your own breath, and then reverse the cycle. Feel the length that it creates. Excellent. Finishing up your final circuit. So hands come down. Just now, we're bringing mindful attention to our neck and our head. You're going to inhale, gaze up to the ceiling, mouth slightly drops open. Exhale, gaze to the floor. Eyes can be closed, so this can be an internal gaze. Inhale up. And mindfully exhale down. Coming back to center. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. And exhale, slowly move past center, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. And then come on back to neutral. We're going to move through a couple circles. So you're going to take a deep breath, inhale, neutral. Exhale, drop your gaze. You're going to look over your right shoulder. So your head's not dropped to the ear. You're actually looking over and then completing the circle. Look over your left and come down on the next exhale. Inhale as you move through. And then exhale to complete the circle. And begin to move to the other side. Excellent. And when you finish your last circle, just bring your head back to neutral, blink your eyes open carefully, bringing light back into the room. So that little flow, something that is accessible by so many people, that's actually what the author refers to as unlocking the flow of the life force. And then what is the life force? And what, it doesn't have to be like a Star Wars force, like moving planets. It's simply reconnecting with ourselves. And when we grieve or when we go through stress or you're confused about certain things going on within you, without you, you have low, you have negative self-talk. There can be blockages, there's just that pain in your shoulder, or your feet are the kind of numb, a little tingly, but there's no reason for it. You don't have like a hairband really tight on your wrist, so that's why your fingers are just not feeling kind of who you think you are. And so this is a way to literally, just one key at a time, just unlocking with our breath, our prana, unlocking the pieces of our body, with the breath being the connecting, kind of smooth, kind of like lubricant in a way, connecting all of those pieces of our body together. So well done. You just unlocked your life force, everyone. So we're going to very carefully come onto our hands and knees. I'm obviously wearing ridiculous socks, so we're not going to do anything that requires a lot of sliding. This can be done in a chair. Just be mindful if you have armrests. If you're on your hands and knees, you're going to just bring 1 or 2 rounds of cat and cow. Inhale, dropping your belly, lifting your gaze, and exhale, rounding through your spine. I'm kind of moving quickly through them. Just to open up your torso. And then you're just going to get up on those toes and just walk your hands with bent knees towards your feet and roll up, 1 vertebrae at a time. Now we're going to move through a windmill cycle. I'm going to face this way. You're going to start knees bent a little further than hips width distance apart. You're going to turn your palm out so your thumb is actually facing towards like the back wall, towards your booty. You're going to inhale, reach that arm up, and exhale, release it. And we're going to go in such a way, let it hang. And eventually we're going to increase the speed. We'll just do a couple. Now let's move to our left side. So your palm is out, thumb is back. Inhale, tall. Exhale, big sigh, release it. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release. Really feel that swinging energy that you created by that energy going up. Release. Excellent. Now we're going to bring them together. We're going to move through a flow. So there's a lot of silly stuff in yoga. I'm actually, I think, going to teach my younger kids a class on just the ridiculous stuff, like lion's breath and child's pose and all the silly things that make us make weird noises and swerve and laugh in class. This might be one of them for you. Some of you might take this very seriously. This is where you actually have to make noise with your breath, and all you're going is like you just ran a marathon and you finished. I just encourage you. I can't hear you. People have heard you make noise before, so if you can really tap into that releasing energy, go for it. So you're going to turn both hands out, palms to the back. Inhale, energize up. On your exhale, bring in some noise. And swing. Inhale, energize up, up, up. Now we're going to reduce the swinging. We're just going to keep flowing. Inhale, up. 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 One more. And release. Let's try that one more time. So the breathing increases in speed, but it also can increase in depth. You can really channel that breath down. So shake it out. One more time. Keep a nice loose bend in your knees. Palms out, thumbs back. Inhale up. Inhale up. Last one. And you can even hang down. You're in a chair. You know what to do. You just simply fold over your lap. Very nice. We're gonna do one more. It's actually a discharging posture. The idea of just sending off the things you just, like, that aren't you now, you don't want them, you're just sending them back into the universe so they can, like, make their route. You know, everything is welcome and good in our world, but just not everything serves us in the moment, you know? So we're gonna do a kind of a fairly traditional discharge. Some of you, if you take class at Local 44, you know them as Breath of Joy. This is a little bit of a modification. So you're gonna stand, keep your knees bent this whole time, and you're gonna inhale, scooping your arms up, maybe even a little back bend, and same noise, throw it away, and then dangle for a few moments, and then we're gonna move through actually 10 of these. So I can't see you, I can't hear you, but I'm gonna do 10, and if you'd like to follow my rhythm, feel free. Otherwise, just keep a little mental count. So all together, let's just take one breath to have us all start in one collective way. Release, and begin. Bending your knees. Inhale, reaching up tall, maybe in the back bend. Relax that neck at the bottom. Throw it all away. I have one more. And hang. Oh, man. Good, and just sway at the bottom of your breath. Relax the back of your neck. Very nice. And just as we're hanging, bend your knees, plant those palms, and cross those ankles. You can even sit back into the same seating pose you were in. We are, kind of approaching the end of our time. I know it's a loose structure, but I would like us to just try a couple more things. Feel free to, if you have to leave. Just take a moment to thank yourself for being in the practice. We're going to try alternate nostril breathing. There are so many benefits to be said, but also it's an interesting experiment because sometimes we have like one nostril that's stuffy, and it's kind of, it can bring up a lot. You know, you're frustrated, you're bored, you're all of these things. Maybe you're deeply connected, and we persist. And if we modify because we have to open our mouths because we have a stuffy nose, regardless, we persist in this effort of breath. So alternate nostril breathing is kind of silly. You're going to take your two peace fingers. You're going to place your index finger and your middle finger between your eyebrow. You're going to rest your thumb, and this is your right hand. Your thumb is going to be against your right nostril. Your ring finger is going to be against your left. You're not squeezing anything. So now we're going to gently press down with our thumb on our right nostril. You're going to inhale through your left. Exhale through the left. Again, inhale through the left nostril. Now switch. Press on the ring finger, open the thumb, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Switch, exhale through the left. Begin to close your eyes. Inhale left. Switch, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch, exhale left. And continue in your own time. It's okay if you mess up or didn't memorize the sequence. It's okay. Just yoga. You're switching on the exhales. Take one more round each side. And when you're finished, you can slowly release your hand and just let breath in normally. And see what it's like to take a full breath through both nostrils. If ever you want to practice that on your own as a form of meditation, they say 5 minutes. 5 minutes is a nice amount of time. So now we're just going to get into a little bit of relaxation. I'm going to guide you through a very short self-compassion meditation. Just find yourself reclining in a position that's comfy. I always encourage pillows. We sometimes do a lot of heart openers where we use the pillows to gently open our chests or to support our lower back. So if you have pillows, place them wherever you like. If you just want to sleep on them. If you have a blanket, you just find yourself, just as we started, in a place of relaxation. Maybe now you feel a little more embodied in your own body. Maybe not. Maybe you just did some nice nostril breathing. That's nice. I'm going to sit up because I'm going to do a reading, but please find yourself gently closing your eyes. Palms can be up in a pose of receiving, or they can be down in a pose of grounding. Let your feet fall open. And you're not even trying to do a kind of breath. You're simply letting yourself be and surrendering to the fact that there is nothing you need to do. Now that we're all settled, I'm going to lead you through an exercise from a woman. Her name is Kristen Ness. She does scientific studies based on compassion and self-compassion. This is called a self-compassion break. Think of a situation in your life that is difficult, that is causing you stress. Call the situation to mind and see if you can actually feel the stress and emotional discomfort in your body. How do you know you're stressed? Now say to yourself, this is a moment of suffering. This is a moment of suffering that you are mindfully doing right now. This is mindfulness. Other options, if that didn't resonate, include just simply, this hurts. Ouch. This is stress. This is a moment of suffering. Now silently tell yourself, suffering is a part of life. Suffering is a part of life. And that's common humanity. Other options include other people feel this way. I am not alone. We all struggle in our lives. Suffering is a part of life. Now place your hands over your heart. Really feel into the warmth of your hands, or the warmth that your hands are conveying, and the gentle touch of your hands on your chest. Your hand is sending your heart a message. Or you can adopt a soothing touch that you've discovered that felt right for you. And say to yourself, may I be kind to myself. May I be kind to myself. You can also ask yourself, what do I need to hear right now to express kindness to myself? Is there a phrase that speaks to you in your particular situation? Maybe, may I give myself the compassion that I need. May I learn to accept myself as I am. May I forgive myself. May I be strong. May I be patient. May I be kind to myself. Those are the three aspects of self-compassion. This is a moment of suffering. Suffering is a part of life. May I be kind to myself. And there are so many different ways to language that in a way that we can hear it. And that's a lot of self-exploration, right? So you can release your hands from wherever they are. If you'd like to just take a deep breath in acknowledgement of that exercise, of the practice, of each other, and release it back out into the earth, into the air, into the kind of universal everything else. You can stay in this position as long as suits you. If you'd like a more active wake up, you can begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing awareness back into your body. Stretch your arms up overhead in a wake up stretch. Like you could roll over onto one side, curling those knees in. If it's kind of the last cozy moment before you take the covers off. And using your arms, press yourself back up into a seated position that's comfortable for you. Hands can come to prayer position in front of your heart. Inhale, palms come to right between your eyebrows, that third eye. Inhale, tall. Exhale, gentle bow to yourself, to each other, into this practice that brings us together. And it helps to heal. So if you're served by namaste, I offer you namaste. But overall, I just want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate you kind of taking this particular journey with me. I know it looks different from a lot of our other classes. I hope that you feel a little more within yourselves. But if not, the key is non-judgment. So just like crumple it up and just throw it away if it wasn't for you. So we have classes twice a week. Saturdays a more asana flow, which is more body stuff. It's an hour long. We do a lot more kind of stretching and activation of the muscles. And I do want to mention a friend and colleague of mine, Marisa. She is a co-starter of a nonprofit called Rise Wellness, and they offer a free meditation on Fridays at noon Eastern Standard Time. Rise Wellness. You can just go on the website and register. And it's half an hour, and it's really lovely. They have a whole bunch of different services, meditation-based services, but if that's something that kind of speaks to you, just meditating within yourself, breathing and having it be guided, free. So again, free is nice. So thank you so much for joining me. I love you all. I wish you all a wonderful evening, and take care of yourselves. Take care, watch the sunset or something. I have a big window, so. All right, take care everyone. Have a good night.